one thing Mike Epps talked about was he said, the white man that controls everything is never going to give you enough wealth and power to really flex on him. He's not going to give you enough to shape his community, but he'll give you enough to flex on your own community, right? You can go to another black person and you can say, look at me, look at my car, look at my house, look at how much money I make. And black people will be like, oh my God, you're a hero, you're an icon, right? But you go into the white community, there are people like that all around. I mean, you have a guy like a Mark Zuckerberg who could find your wealthiest black celebrity and buy that person 20 times over and do it and still have plenty of money left over, or Elon Musk. When you compare $500 billion to a billionaire, that's if you take 500 billionaires and put them in a room, that's one Elon Musk, right? So that's a different tier of power, a different tier of reach and influence, which typically is connected to access to capital, control of banking systems, things like that. They literally have the ability to print their own money. And so to some extent, they become the economic gods and we just become their subjects, their little pawns, right? So typically the way you oppress a group of people and control them is you will find a couple of people that you can pull out. It's like the Hunger Games. The Hunger Games, if you watch the movie The Hunger Games, you had the wealthy, the elite, and then you had the poor, which was the masses. And to control the masses, they would grab a couple of little symbolic representatives. Symbolism is very big in controlling a group of people. So they would grab these little symbolic representatives that are in the Hunger Games and they would parade them around. And because what they're doing is they were selling hope on a rope like a piece of dope. They were literally offering hope to the people to say, look, if you behave, if you follow the system, if you do what you're told, if you go to school, go to college, get a good job, and go to work every day, then maybe one day you too can be as powerful and as successful as this person that you're looking at on stage. So, long story short, what you end up seeing is this happening in hip hop all the time. Diddy and Jay Z were those two guys. I knew a young lady one time who literally told me that she went to college and she did not study her freshman year. And I said, why didn't you study? She said, because in my mind, I knew that I was going to go into the music industry, meet Diddy or Jay-Z. They were going to be so impressed with me that they were going to offer me a job on the spot, and I was going to go to New York and work with them. And I said, that was your main plan? She said, yeah, that was my main plan. So these dreams are very powerful for young people. And what I think is really interesting is I think that it's very important that if you get a young child that you influence and you give them a dream, at least give them a realistic dream. I think dreaming big is important, but dreaming in a way that's just not probable is not healthy. Dreaming about winning the lottery is not the best way to go about your life, not the best use of your time. And I was in the car this morning taking Tater to school, and Taylor, her name's Taylor, I call her Tater. And we were talking, and I said, Taylor, I said a lot of people don't understand that the easiest way to make money is the stock market. I said, I was talking to her about, I said, Netflix was going to buy Warner Brothers, and the deal is going through. That was my way of kind of hooking her in because I know everybody watches Netflix.